have a special guest in studio, and not only a special guest, but a brand new guest. We're meeting for the very first time. It is Chris. He is the founder, owner, CEO of August Roofing and Solar. Hi, Chris.
Hello. Good morning, Tori.
What is going on?
Finally, there's no rain, so we're back to putting some roofs on, repairing some roofs for people. So that's what's happening right now in the roofing world.
In the roofing world. The roofing world is a world all by itself. It's just in its own orbit, and we like it like that because I'm not sure I could be in that orbit. Very complicated to me. So that's what we're going to kind of dissect. We're going to peel back layers of onions today and talk about the name of the company is called August Roofing and Solar. So we have two different things we're going to be discussing. First, tell me a little bit about August Roofing and Solar, Chris. Usually, and this is just my experience, usually it's a solar company, boom. Roofing company, boom. But you have two. You're connected.
That's correct.
Talk to me.
We've been a roofing company for over 31 years. I started in the roofing industry 37 years ago, and started off as a roofing company about 15 years. In 2015, excuse me. When the solar industry really started booming, I started getting a lot of calls from my previous customers that they were having problems with their solar installations and they were leaking. And so, I started dabbling in a bit, helping some customers out, and all of a sudden it just started getting to be a big thing. And one of the things we realized is one of the most important things is how you connect your solar to your roof, right? It needs to be done in a waterproof manner. That's our business. So I'm like, well, it's just natural for us to be in the solar industry so that we can properly install a solar system onto the roof.
One hand works with the other.
Exactly. So it was just a perfect marriage.
Do you find that some of the solar companies might know so much about solar and the solar panels, but they lack that knowledge of putting two and two together? Is that a huge problem, the leaking, that these panels were not installed correctly?
Yeah, it's a huge problem, especially early in the industry. It was just like catastrophic, actually, because most of the solar companies, they didn't care. They just went up there, 25-year-old roofs, putting solar systems on. It's much better now. The solar industry understands it, but most of them still subcontract out all of their roofing work. And so what happens is as a consumer, when you choose a contractor, you go through a process and make sure you're comfortable with somebody, right? But if you have a contractor that's subcontracting things out, you don't get to choose that subcontractor, right?
No, and I've run into that.
Right. Mm-hmm. So that's why we thought, well, we need to do the best for our customers. Well, we need to handle both of it so they can hire one contractor to take care of both. They don't have to worry about it. If there is a leaking problem, there's one number to call. There's not like, oh, well, yeah, that's our subcontractor. Go ahead and call him, or, back and forth like that.
Chris, did you find that some of the solar companies from years ago, not necessarily now, because solar is huge. It's huge.
Correct.
But years ago, when solar first kind of came out and it became a thing, do you find, because I found that some of these solar companies went out of business.
Yes.
And if there was an issue, you were out of luck because they were long gone.
Yep.
Did you find that as well when you were first starting out to merging the company with some solar? Were you finding that as well?
Yeah, it's actually we're finding a bigger problem now, right? Because now are when the problems are coming up, the 5, 10, 15 years later. That's what you have to remember when you're hiring a contractor, is that it's, problems don't usually arise till a lot longer down the road. So we're finding a lot of those problems now, and, some of these poor people are having to redo whole systems that were supposed to last a long time, roofs and everything like that too, so.
And it's not cheap. I mean, roofing itself is not cheap. Add on the solar panels, not cheap. Right. How is, we're just going to dabble in this for a second because I'm so curious. How does insurance handle something like that?
Well, normally they'll cover the resultant damage, which means the inside of your house. But other than that, everything else is on you. We're
on our own.
Yep.
So it's really important to choose a company who not only has experience. You've had experience in roofing, you said 37 years?
Yes.
Okay. You didn't start last year. You didn't start 6 months ago. No. You have the knowledge and the know-how. Have you been practicing here in the Santa Clarita Valley for the most part of those 37?
Yes, Santa Clarita has always been part of our service area.
Mm-hmm. So you're getting into the homes that are 20 years old, 25 years old. There haven't been all that many new developments as of late. So you are probably getting into that time period.
Yes.
And seeing these problems arise. What's the first thing you do? You go out, you have a consultation, you meet the potential client?
Yes, we meet the client. Our project consultants will go on the roof and take a look around and take a photo essay and check all the things out and make sure that, and then come down and show you what might be happening up there. And then we can give you a written proposal on what it takes to correct those issues.
Have you found that maybe you can salvage the panels itself, redo maybe the roof where there was leaking, but salvage the panels, and so there isn't so it doesn't get too pricey? Are you able to work like that, or do you find that no, once there's a leak, these panels have to go, we got to redo the whole thing?
No, the panels are good. Usually we do what we call a remove and replace. So and most of the work is done to make sure that the attachment is done properly when you reinstall the roof. And then there's a lot of companies that will put solar systems are good for 25 years. The panels are rated for 25 years. And then they put them over a roof that's 10 or 15 years old. That doesn't make a lot of sense. You don't have both systems in the same...
They're not in sync.
Exactly, not in sync. So, sometimes I had a customer the other day that got a little upset that we were proposing a new roof, even though my roof's not bad. It's only 15 years old. And I go, but sir, in 10 years, I'm going to have to take your system off and put it back on, and that will cost you more than what it would take to put the roof on right now. So you may as well invest in now he went ahead for it, and now he's got a 25-year roof, 25-year solar system, everything's in sync, and it's
sometimes you have to do that. It's such economies are rough, and they've been that way up and down for a very long time. And I know the first thing we think of, and I've talked to a lot of clients like yourself who come in and have services, the first thing we want to know is price. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It's just, that's the way it is, Chris. We just want to know what's the bottom line, because we're concerned about money. Most of us are concerned about money. We need to start looking past that just a little bit. And if you're going to invest in something like this in solar, which will pay itself off in time. You have to be patient. You need to kind of look ahead and be proactive as far as, possibly putting on a new roof, and especially if it's 15 years old. It doesn't make sense. It's to put something new on something that's relatively old. And I guess we have to that's learned behavior. So you have to teach us, you have to show us the way, Chris, and make sure we understand that it's for our own good. And sometimes we have to reach into the pocket a little bit deeper just to make that happen.
Yeah, and there's some things that aren't like real sexy, right? Like new granite in the kitchen or bathroom. That's stuff that we like to spend money on. Roofs and structural stuff, and those are the things that people will tend to kind of like, oh man, I'll do the budget there and I'll spend a little bit over there. Well, sometimes we just got to take a serious look at those really critical things for the house that'll keep it together over the long haul.
Well, you're right, because it's not something we see at all. We're inside the house.
Right.
We don't see that. How fun is that? A new roof, big deal. What? It's like, oh, come on, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But the first leak we get, and with these rains, I'm sure that your phone has been ringing off the hook, because now there are probably some leaks that people didn't even realize they had with all the rains that we've had lately.
Correct.
I have to be right on that, right?
Oh yeah, we set the record for number of calls the last 2 weeks.
There you go. Because people didn't realize they had a leak until they do.
Yeah.
And you got to take care of it.
Droughts mask it, right? Because people, they only work on their roofs when there's a leak, right?
Exactly.
Right? Only when there's a problem.
Exactly.
And so proactivity in roofs and some of the other, components in your house is a good thing.
We will be talking to Chris on a weekly basis for probably the next month or so. if you have any questions regarding roofing or solar, hold on to them. Call the station, email us here at the station, and we'll try and get to them as these weeks continue. We're gonna talk about all kinds of the future of solar, everything. If you want to get in touch with Chris right away, and this is what you need. Maybe you need a repair after these rains. Maybe you've been thinking about solar. You want an estimate. Absolutely. Go to augustroofing.com. Augustroofing.com. Talk to Chris. Talk to his colleagues about what might be right for you. In the meantime, if you have any questions, make sure you get us here at this station. You can email us or call us with your questions. He'll be by probably once a week for the next month or so. Chris, it's been a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, very nice talking to you.